I had like gone DIY and I'm like, I'm gonna make my own floor cleaner, right? And it smelled fantastic. It looked great. It's all natural. How did everything go? She's like, oh, it was wonderful. Thank you so much. She's like, the only thing is, she's like, my husband and I are walking around on the wood floors with our socks slipping all over the place. Because I read somewhere online that, oh, you can clean with olive oil. So maybe for your furniture, like the table,
yeah,
your floor.
Thank you for joining us on the Evolve Your Brand podcast. I'm your host, Olia Merkees, and just want to give a huge shout out to Icon Industries. Without them, none of this would be possible. Shane, Steven, and the whole team over here, thank you so much for all you do. Without further ado, I'm so excited to have Nicola Davies with us from Mother Earth and Tranquil Homes. Welcome.
Thank you.
So excited to have you.
Thanks for having me.
So, first podcast ever.
Yes.
And what is it that you're looking forward to the most?
I think I'm just excited about sharing my story, you know, like how we became successful at Tranquil Home, you know? So yeah.
So let's start with your journey. Like, how did you end up in San Diego? Where did it all begin for you? Like, where did you grow up?
Yeah, sure. So I lived in London. I was born in England, and my mother and stepfather immigrated here with me and my little sister in 1989. So I was 9 years old. And we first actually moved to Oceanside when we got here. It was a little bit rough, the neighborhood we were in. And so we left Oceanside and moved to University City, which is like a little town in between Claremont and La Jolla. And then I grew up there. And then I just went to high school, University City High, and then I went to Mesa College in San Diego State. And just grew up in San Diego.
So what was it like growing up in England? I mean, you were there until you were 9, so.
Yeah, you know, it almost seems like a past life now, you know, because it was so long ago. But because people ask me stuff, well, what was this like or that like? It's like, well, I was 9 when I left, right? So like I could have been anywhere in the world, you know. I wasn't really aware of like culture and stuff like that because I just sort of, you know, was a kid. Yeah. But I did note, there was a huge culture shock when I moved to America. Like I could tell instantly, like, whoa, we're not in Kansas anymore, so to speak. You know what I mean? Everything is huge, like the streets, the cars, the freeways. Obviously my accent, American accents are different. So there was a little bit of culture shock coming to school as a 9-year-old, you know, leaving England. I was like, whoa, what's going on here, dude? You know?
Did you live so you moved to Oceanside. Did you live close to the ocean when you were in London? Well, you were in London though.
Yeah, no, beach wasn't a thing. I mean, like our beaches are just pebbles. It's freezing and they're just like rocks. And that's what I remember from the beach anyways, you know. So there's no like surfing or
what? I mean, you've been here since 1989. What's your fondest memory of growing up in San Diego?
Oh, that's a good question. My fondest memory of growing up in San Diego.
All I try to do is ask it questions.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of the magical moments of childhood were probably just like going to the pool. Like I lived in an apartment complex in La Jolla Colony and we had a pool and we had like a ton of kids in our complex. And so they had a big community and we're always just at the pool all summer. So I think like swimming, going snorkeling at La Jolla Cove, that we did that a lot as a kid. So those are like, you know, there's a lot of fun things to do. So it's hard to like pinpoint exactly. But I think growing up in an apartment complex was fun because there was always a ton of kids around. And you have a pool, right? Like, and you all share it. So.
And you're a social butterfly, right?
Yeah, pretty social. Yeah,
a little bit?
Yeah.
What do you love about, like, now that you've grown up here, I mean, I think everybody discovers San Diego. What's your favorite part about, like, living in San Diego? What do you love about it?
Well, it's changed a lot, you know. San Diego is not really how it was even 10 years ago. I think now I really appreciate just like the food. You know what I mean? Like we're a big city, so we have a lot of different restaurants. So that's cool. And I like that we are I think I'd say I like the winters the most because there's just less people here, you know?
Yeah.
I still like going to the beach. You know, there's tons of free things to do, like exercise. You can go hike the cliffs, go to Torrey Pines. So I like doing stuff.
Are you a big hiker?
I probably think about exercising and hiking more than I actually do it. But yeah, I like it. Yeah. No, I like going out, and it helps clear your head, especially when you're working a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Get
As an
outside.
entrepreneur, do you notice you working a lot as an entrepreneur?
Just a little bit, you know, not too much. Yeah.
Where did you go to school? College.
So I went, so college, I went immediately from high school to Mesa College.
Okay.
I didn't graduate from University City High, by the way. I went on homeschool because I was a kind of a troublemaker. So I went,
you?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I think I prompted you for this one, but what's the funniest story you don't want to share?
The funniest story I don't want to share. Oof. Like from those years? From high school?
Whatever you want.
Okay. Let me marinate on that one a little bit. And we'll go back to it. Is that cool? Okay.
You got it.
So college, I went to University City High. I graduated on homeschool because I did drop out of high school in 10th grade. And then I ended up going back and getting my diploma on time. And then Mesa College, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Ended up getting my real estate license. I actually went back to San Diego State in my 30s to finish my degree because I just wanted to finish it. You know, it was just like a personal goal. So I got a degree in journalism with an emphasis in advertising. Yeah. So
I did. Okay.
Yeah.
We're Aztecs.
Yeah.
I'm Aztec too.
Yeah.
So I took my kids to a basketball game for the first time, and they hadn't been. But have you been to the campus recently?
On campus, no. I've never been to a basketball game. I really want to go to one at State. They seem like fun.
Okay. Next time we go, like that's an experience. One of the best like sporting events I've gone to, and they actually play really good. I'm like, okay. When'd you graduate? So you're 33.
Oh God, it wasn't even that long ago because we wore masks at my graduation.
Yeah.
So it was like during COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
okay,
during.
There you go.
I had to go part-time
Congratulations.
because I was running my business, taking care of my niece, and in school. So it was a lot. So I did part-time. So yeah, it was just more, I don't want to be a journalist. It was just something like I wanted to just get my degree, you know?
Yeah. And you were mentioning, so you adopted your niece?
Yes. I mean, I helped raise her. Yeah. So she lives with me full time. Yeah.
Nice. What's the best part? Like, what do you enjoy most about being a parent?
I think like, the different ages they go through, there's special things, but I think like the thing that I've enjoyed the most about raising my niece is probably the holidays and just watching their enthusiasm when they're young for things, because as you get older, you get cynical and you're like, oh, cool, the zoo, whatever, and then when you take a kid and they're like, wow, and you're like, yeah, I guess like this is pretty cool, so they just have such enthusiasm for everything because everything's new,
I know. I think that's why we enjoy the holidays so much, just reminiscing. I love it.
The holidays are awesome because if like my boyfriend and I didn't have Scarlett, like we'd probably like go have a drink on Christmas or something at a bar. When you go all out when you have kids for the holidays. So.
Okay, so what's Nicola's favorite holiday?
Ooh, that's a good question. My favorite holiday, I'd have to say probably Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come?
Well, it's just fun. You get to dress up and I get to eat all my niece's candy. She's allergic to dairy, so I eat all her chocolate.
Do you love sugar?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a sugar crackhead. For sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I'll stay away from sugar, but if you bring it around me, like I'll eat all of it. Like I can't stop.
What is the dessert of choice? Like what's your go-to? Bam, I love this.
I mean, dessert of choice. If I'm at like a restaurant, probably creme brulee.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're talking like candy, like ice cream truck style, like Sour Patch Kids for sure.
What?
Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, Sour Patch Kids. Okay.
Yeah. Like movie theater candy. Yeah, for sure.
I get it. I'm popcorn, and you said movies. Now I want to go to the movies. Let's jump into what you did. So you you went to Mesa College.
Yeah.
What'd you do after Mesa College?
So I it's kind of funny actually. Me and my best friend at the time, we're driving on campus. We had to go to class and we couldn't find parking and we're just like, fuck it, we're done. Let's just go to the beach and smoke a joint. which is terrible, but it was just like, it was so much effort to find parking. And we didn't really want to go anyways. We're enrolled in these classes.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we wanted to do, who we wanted to be. So we just were like, whatever, peace out. So it just kind of fizzled out. I stopped going. And then I got my real estate license. And then, sorry, what was the question again?
Yeah, I was asking, what did you do after Mesa College? So you got your real estate license. When did you get your real estate license?
Oh, God, it was early 20s. So when I was in high school, I got my first like real job, if you will, in a telemarketing room for a mortgage company. And dude,
you sold money too?
Oh my God. I didn't know I had the skill, but apparently I was like on fire. I produced more leads than anybody because I just talk quick and I just, whatever. So they all the adults, because I still was a child, I was like 16, 17, they really like overpraised me and I'd get cash bonuses. They'd let me go home early. And I was like, I felt like the superstar, So I kind of knew like, I'm kind of good at this. And I saw all the loan officers, they all were in their early 20s and they were all driving like really nice cars and they had money. And I was like, I want to do that. Because I didn't know what I wanted to do at Mesa College. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, why not just get my real estate license and do loans? So I actually was a loan officer before I got my real estate license, but I got my real estate license because you get that bigger split.
Right.
You make more money. So yeah. And then I did that all through my 20s. I mean, I was a late bloomer for really growing up because I didn't have a lot of responsibilities. So I feel like I really became an adult in my like 30s when I adopted my niece. Most of my 20s, I was just dedicated to making money, partying and having fun, being in the moment. So
living life.
Yeah.
Living your best life.
I don't regret that. I don't regret that now because less likely to have a midlife crisis, right? If you've enjoyed your teen years in your 20s. So
everybody's journey is a little different. It's like you embrace every moment and take life as it comes, and it's the mindset that you have on how you process things. What how did things change when you adopted your niece?
Yeah, I mean, everything changed really, because it was all about her. This is not about you anymore. It just takes you out of yourself, and I think you become more selfless and just much more maternal or paternal if you're a man, and caring, and just our universe is centered around her and not our own problems anymore, So, and I just really feel like that helps you grow up. You just evolve into a different space,
So as you were going through that shift, what made you leave the real estate industry?
Yeah, good question. So prior to taking on the responsibility of my niece, in 2008, we had the banking crisis, and I was working for a large bank. I won't say the name of them, but I was an executive assistant for a top producing mortgage banker, and I was making great money. I loved my job, but they laid me off. So it was kind of like that COVID moment, right? But it wasn't COVID yet. And I had that time to think like, is this really what I want to do? Do I really like this? Or do I just think I like it? So being laid off, you got a lot of time on your hands. And I was thinking, and I'm like, you know what? I am fucking burned out. I'm over it. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. I've been doing it for a long time. And I was also overworked and underpaid. I was working like free overtime, unpaid lunch breaks, all that stuff. So, I decided to make a career change, and I'm like, I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to get my paralegal degree, because I had a girlfriend who was a paralegal and she loved it. She made good money. There's all different areas of the law you can go into. So if you do like civil litigation or criminal law, you get burned out, you could shift to another area, right? So it's just a broad career that you can move around in, right? So I'm like, cool, I'm going to get my paralegal degree. So when I got back into school to get that degree, which is a 2-year degree, I needed supplemental income, because student loans just are not paying the bills in San Diego, right? So I was like, cool, I'll wait tables. I've done that a bunch. I've waited on famous people, worked in clubs, high-paced restaurants, fine dining, whatever. I'm like, I had no problem getting a job in a restaurant. For some reason, at that moment, when I needed that supplemental income, the universe was like, nope, you're not going to get a restaurant job. I applied everywhere. I applied all different strategies. I'd roll up into restaurants that weren't even advertising just to see if they needed a server. Could not get a job. And then the final straw was I applied at this restaurant downtown, I'll never forget. And the manager emailed me and he's like, can you send me a headshot? And I was like, what? Like, Yeah, I'm like, why do you need to see what I look like before I come in an interview? So I was like, you know what? Fuck this, I'm done. So I had this little seed that had been planted in my mind like years before. I'd watched an Oprah episode of this woman who Oprah interviewed. She used to be a model, and she was talking about how toxic the culture is with, like, you know, food and having to be very thin and yada yada, and that she had started this eco-friendly cleaning company, and she'd generated $1 million of revenue in her first year. So that little, I was very impressed when I had watched that episode, right? And it left a memory in my mind. So now, fast forwarding back to me, back in school for my paralegal degree, and I couldn't find a restaurant job, and I had to move quick because I didn't have like a security of money. I didn't have savings. I can't like call my mom and be like, hey, can you lend me $3,000 or whatever? I had to like survive on my own. So I had to pivot quickly. And so I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start my own eco-friendly cleaning business. And first thing I thought was, okay, I got to learn how to clean really well. So I went and got a job at a cleaning agency in San Diego, and just to get comfortable and like learn how to do it. Right. And it was kind of funny because all the women are like, who's this white girl? Like, not a lot of people spoke English, you know what I mean? And like, I'll never forget one day I went to the office like to get my paycheck or something, and they had said to me like, oh, blah, 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 really likes working with you. And I remember feeling like really proud because these women are really hard workers, and they thought like I was up to snuff. So it made me feel good that like, so I was like, all right. So I worked there for a few months. I'm like, I got this down. I can figure it out. And then I just went out on my own. And I did everything. I had no money. So I did everything by trade. So for example, I needed a website. I knew that. So I found a guy on Craigslist, him and his wife. He was a web designer. He designed my website, and I cleaned their house for them. So I didn't have to pay him because I didn't have money. I didn't have $2,500 to pay for a website or whatever it costs. So I literally built everything up based on trade. And then, I mean, there's a lot more story, but that's how the origins of it started. So I'm going to school.
I love it. I fucking love it. That's the entrepreneur experience right there. I bartered for everything.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So when did you, like, how old were you? I mean, so you went on the job training.
Yep.
Freaking awesome. How old were you? When was that?
I was probably 31. So 2011.
Nice.
Yeah. I was 31.
So you're in your 30s and you're like, holy shit, everything's different at that point.
Yeah, it was like a new chapter, right? It was a new chapter, and I knew, and I didn't feel any shame about working for the agency, or like, because, you know, sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like but I've never felt like I'm above anything. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to go clean. And I did, and I got a little bit of experience. It gave me the confidence, and then I moved on. And then I got my very first client, I'll never forget, off of Craigslist. It was a nice family at a beautiful home in Oceanside. I lived in Claremont at the time. That's a long ass drive, but I was so excited to have my first customer. I was like, fuck it. Even though it was impractical because, you know, it's a lot of gas and mileage, right? So, but, and she stayed with us for like 5 years, and that was my first client.
So you didn't pull the Mesa College? You couldn't find parking? The drive is too long. You're like, I'm doing this.
No, because this was.
Do you remember the family's name?
Yeah. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Angela Miller. That was the client's name.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, the Millers. And she was like in some science-related biotech field, and they were a really nice family. And I just remember feeling so honored that they like they were going to pay me to come in their home and clean. And funny story. So, you know, we're eco-friendly only, right? That's like our whole thing, right? We're sustainable, eco-friendly only.
Well, fine. Now you opened up the bag. We're ready for that.
So I was still sort of in this experimental stage of like knowing what products to use and stuff. So I had like gone DIY, and I'm like, I'm going to make my own floor cleaner, right? So I use like lemon essential oils, and God, what else did I use? I think olive oil. It was olive oil, like lemon oil and water, something to clean the floors, right? And it smelled fantastic. It looked great. It's all natural. And the family, they're really nice, polite professionals. And I had asked her, I had texted her, I think, after the first cleaning. I was like, how did everything go? She's like, oh, it was wonderful. Thank you so much. She's like, and she was so scared to tell me. She's like, the only thing is, she's like, my husband and I are walking around on the wood floors with our socks slipping all over the place. It was super slippery from the olive oil in the.
I was gonna say
yes, because I don't know. I just was experimenting and I thought, because I read somewhere online that you can clean with olive oil. So maybe for your furniture, like the table, not your floor, So it was the funniest thing ever. After I was like, I am so sorry, Angela, and I was just imagining these two professional parents and their socks like sliding all over their floor, and I just thought that was the most hilarious thing. So yeah.
How did you feel in that moment when Miss Miller told you that?
I felt humiliated for sure.
Oh, really?
I felt both like it was laughable, but then I also felt like, oh, you idiot. Of course, olive oil moron on the floor. Of course, it's going to make it slippery, So
you know what I would have done? I would have put on socks, freaking gone for it, put on some music. Come on.
It was just funny because they were like they were nice people, but they were like reserved. And it was just funny to think about them slipping all over their floors and their socks. But that was my first client. And, and I learned obviously, okay, that's a bad idea. Don't use olive oil on people's wood floors.
So that's not part of, you're not using olive oil at Tranquil Homes.
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not.
Got it.
But yeah, so and you know what? One thing too is like when I did have this in my mind of the business I wanted to start, I didn't tell anybody about it. And it's not because I had shame around it. It's because I sort of felt on this intuitive level that if I talk about it, I'm going to diffuse the energy. Because I feel like when you talk about things over and over again, you kind of wear yourself out mentally and you get burned out on ideas. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever done that? Like, have you ever like planned a vacation in your head for like a year and then you're like, fuck, I already felt like I've been to Costa Rica. I've thought about it so much. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I knew like, keep it to yourself until it becomes a little bit successful and then you can talk about it. So I really I was kind of secretive about it. Like my boyfriend, who's still my boyfriend now, he didn't even really know what I had going on. Like I kept it kind of, he knew I was cleaning, right? But I didn't tell him about the dream that I wanted to make it a big company. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So I'm getting my paralegal degree. I finished that. I got the certificate and then I was looking for paralegal jobs. And I'm like, you know what? I'm making almost double what I'm making with the cleaning company than I would if I was a paralegal. So I abandoned the paralegal idea and I just put all my energy into Tranquil Home.
When did you tell Keith? Do you remember the moment where you felt like?
Yeah, I don't really, but I feel like once it became more of a thing, like once I started working on my logo, which is another funny story, my first logo, then I was like, okay, Okay,
what's the logo story? Where?
So I had a friend I grew up with and he's a big stoner and he's like a kind of like a, like a Burning Man kind of guy, whatever. And he's an artist. He's an amazing artist, actually. He's really talented. And so I asked him, like, hey, if I clean your house, will you make me a logo? So he's like, sure. So I cleaned his house, another trade, right? I'm not spending cash. And he made me a really cool logo. It looked very like, Hobbity, Lord of the Rings. Like the font was really cool, but he had a stick of lavender because I wanted lavender in the logo, but it looked like a nug, like it looked like a bud, like of marijuana, like, you know what I mean? So it was funny, like looking back on how terrible that logo looks now, it's like kind of like, oh.
That's actually, you can use it for a dispensary, you're fine.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
For home cleaning might not work, but if you opened up a dispensary, you would have been fine.
Yeah, so it was very it was rough around the edges in the beginning, for sure.
Do you know what blows my mind? Like you literally started your company because of Oprah.
Yeah, because of the seed of an Oprah episode that I watched. I know. Isn't that insane? I remember being so impressed that she made $1 million her first year and it like solidified in my brain. And it popped up at that moment when I was feeling defeated that I couldn't find a job in a restaurant. And I was like, you know what? I've always thought that idea was so cool. Let's just go for it.
Isn't it crazy how, it's insane. And then you just had a huge thing happen. You were telling me how your Tranquil Home just had $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't do it in a year, but we got it done.
Right, yeah. It didn't. Well, we're going to talk about perseverance, but that was such a cool, I made the connection. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right. I also did the same thing. So I manifested it. Like, it's insane. That manifesting stuff, like sometimes I feel kind of eye rolly about it, like, because it's very new agey, but it really is real. Like an idea that was planted in my brain became a tangible thing, so.
I think, funny story about manifesting, you're sitting in that seat because of manifesting.
Yeah.
Because we're all about people like yourself and Aaron, and I want to talk about that in just a second. We didn't even know each other. I didn't even know you existed.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you don't take the risk of just connecting with people and reaching out, you were telling me something funny. Like normally, what was your story about Wes reaching out to you?
Oh, yeah. So Wes text the business line, which I'm not even on that much because we have virtual assistants. So I was lucky I even saw the text. And I thought for like a second, I don't know, this is probably bullshit. Because, you get a lot of spam texts, people asking you for stuff. And then I read it. And then I was like, all right. And I went straight to YouTube. I'm like, they're legit. And I was like, so I wrote you guys back. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What an amazing connection. So, I love the story of Tranquil Homes. Like, that's the journey. You know what I mean? That is freaking cool. How do you not want, like, that's where I want small business to win, and share stories like this. Like, who does it? After hearing that story, who wouldn't want to get your services? What a cool way. You built this from nothing.
Yeah. So
how does Erin play into the fold?
Yeah. So Erin is my childhood friend. She's amazing. And what happened was, so in the early days of Tranquil Home, one of my first clients was Club Pilates. And the founder, her name is Allison Beardsley. She's an amazing entrepreneur. She's just a great person. And she hired me to clean her Pilates studios. So I'm cleaning her Pilates studios, and my friend, the one who made my logo, invited me to a yoga festival up in Squaw Valley, which is near Tahoe. And so I needed a week off. And so I asked Erin on a whim, like, hey, Erin, who's now my business partner, I said, would you be interested in taking over cleaning the Pilates studios for me while I go to this yoga festival? She's like, sure, why not? So she did a really good job because she's really reliable and she did everything perfectly. And when I got back, I was thinking, it's kind of a lonely journey, like having a business. It kind of feels like being a single parent to me. You know what I mean? And I kind of had this intuitive feeling like I really need a business partner because I can just feel it in my bones this is going to blow up. So I asked her, I'm like, hey, Erin, like shot in the dark, would you be interested in like partnering up with me? And she's like, totally. And
what was she doing?
So she was helping, I believe her father had a couple businesses and she was helping run a family business. And I think they had sold it. So she was at that intersection where she needed something to do. And I think her like educational background, it was in like hospice and nursing and stuff like that. So she could have very well easily gone back to that. But I think that just that timing of me asking her, and she's just really the best business partner you could ask for, she's just great. She works just as hard as me, and I'm just lucky to have her. Yeah.
How does she make you better?
Oh gosh, how does she make you better? Well, she's much calmer than I am, that's for sure. I think what she brings to Tranquil Home is just a real eye for detail, and she just has the level of due diligence that I have. Like, we just really care. It's our company, right? So we want clients to have a good experience. We want our employees to be happy. And so, yeah, we just, our give a shit level is very high because it's our creation, right? Yeah. So
how come you said you want your employees to be happy? How come that matters to you and Erin?
Well, why is that important? I mean, well, it's important so they'll do a good job for our clients, but it's also important because we want them to stick around. We don't want to be like this high turnover, in and out type of employer. It really makes our workplace just better for everybody. They're happier, the clients are happier, we're happier. So
is the industry like that? Just
not really. And we're still working at it. Like it's a work in progress, but no, I mean, look, we're in one of the most expensive cities in America, and it's an entry-level labor job. So it's difficult because people need more income, So we've really worked on targeting employees that don't need income. They maybe they're college students, you still need income, right? Like everybody needs money, but are just in a different place in their life. Because really, if you have 2 kids and you're in your 30s or 40s and you have rent to pay, you're not going to survive off of. It's just, you're not going to survive off of certain levels of income, right?
I think what stands out to me is you talk about the experience, your client's experience, and how you treat your team members translates to them. So it's impressive that you have high standards, because I saw all your reviews.
Yeah. We work really hard at our reviews, and we check in with every single client, make sure they're happy. We ask them if they'd like to leave a gratuity. So we're looking out for our employees as we want them to make more tips. And yeah, we really do bend over backwards for our clients. Like, I'll give you one example. So we had a client once, she had a bad experience. Her cleaning, she wasn't happy with it, which happens. We're doing high volume. Not every single client's happy, but the ones that aren't happy, we really take care of. So this is an extreme example, but it just shows you the levels we go to that you just don't get in most consumer experiences. So the client was unhappy. I called her, talked to her, listened to, what was wrong. And then I apologized because we dropped the ball for sure. And I comped her cleaning, and I actually paid for her to have another cleaning with a different company. So, that to me is going the extra mile, because she needed it done quickly and she didn't want our cleaner to come back. So
how come you decided to do that? What made you decide that?
Because really simple, really. I just imagined that I was her. That's it. What would I want as a consumer, So, yeah.
I love that you earned your reputation.
Thanks.
It's impressive.
Thank you.
Like, you know what I mean? It's that pride that, and we had a great conversation, and you can really see, like, as you get to know you, like, you see how much of that goes into Tranquil Homes.
Yeah.
So you were talking about, like, when you were doing the on-the-job training, like, you stood out. How come you went at it with that level of passion? Like, your standards were so high.
Yeah, I think it's because I really enjoy work. Like, I like working, like, you could have me work at a stable and shovel horse shit for a week, and I would do it with pride, and I do it well, just because I like to do things well, because it makes me feel good. If I half-ass it, I feel like a jerk. You know what I mean? So I just really enjoy working, and I figure if I'm going to do it, let's just do it right and do it well, because it gives you a sense of accomplishment and pride.
What really took you and Aaron to the next level? Do you remember that transition where you're like, holy moly, like, what was the first employee that you hired? Like, when did that happen?
Yeah, that's a good question. It almost seems like a blur because it was so long ago now. But, I think the big transition for us was because we did hire employees, but we were still working ourselves in the field. So we had to hire a high enough quantity of employees so we could get out of the field. So even if, an employee dropped off, we didn't have to run back to go clean a home. So that was a big growth period for us. And that was just stopping ourselves from working and working on our business, not in it, right?
Yeah.
The cliche saying that we all do. So, but you have to relearn that lesson over and over again at different phases of your business. So cool. We're not working cleaning houses anymore. Now we're working on hiring and this and that, but now we're answering the phones, and now we're dealing with customer service. So now we got to go back to hiring someone else to do that. So it's like you keep leveling up, basically. And I think most recently, the biggest catalyst for growth has been, we have an excellent mentor. We have an excellent coach. Her name is Elena Ledoux. Her last name is French. I believe her husband's French. So her last name is spelled Ledoux. And she is just a highly intelligent, no fluff, no bullshit coach, right? Because I feel like as business owners, there's so much stuff online, like, learn how to do this, learn how to do that. And a lot of it's fluff. A lot of it is fluff bullshit, right? So Elena, like, when I met her, I was like, this is the coach for us, because she just gives quality, good info, And she really brought us out of the dark ages with a lot of systems that we had. For example, like, we were using Google Calendar for like all of our jobs, which is bananas, because we're doing like 20 to 30 jobs a day. And she's like, dude, you got to get CRM. You got to get customer relationship management software. And we're like, what's that?
When was this? Like, when did you?
This was
Elena, right?
Yep. This was probably, if I was to guess, I feel like my concept of time got screwed up after COVID, right? Like,
That's because you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. That
Every day bleeds into them. We're like,
exactly.
When am I? What year is it?
I know. When I feel like 2022, it was like, that was like there's like before COVID and after COVID. I want to say it was about 4 years ago. If I was to guess, 3 or 4 years ago.
Get out.
Yeah.
That recent.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So we got, we switched, we got CRM, and then she just basically was like, you got to get virtual assistants, because we were having problems finding a competent office manager or anyone to even answer our phones, it's hard to find good help. So I'm like, well, if I can't find help in America, how am I going to find help going to a platform like Upwork and hiring somebody in a foreign country that English is their second language? It seemed like so weird to me. My brain just couldn't understand, like, if I can't find an American to do the job, how can they do it? And you know what? Oh God, I wish I learned this lesson earlier. They can do it and they do it better. Sad to say. Like, there's a lot of countries that are developing nations. There's zero opportunity and they need work and they show up to work. I have women in the Philippines that work for us. They're virtual assistants. There will be a typhoon. Their roof will be ripped off and they will drive 2 hours to their cousin's house to get internet to get back to work. Our culture just doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? So that was a huge game changer for us, is having that office staff available to help us. And I hate to, I don't want to knock, all Americans. I'm stereotyping, of course, but I wish I had learned that lesson earlier and gone. And a lot of entrepreneurs do that. They do use those, they outsource, and it's you're giving opportunity to somebody in a foreign country and they just have amazing work ethic. A lot of them, not all of them, but many people do,
Nicola, I think we got to also talk about this. Like, being an entrepreneur in California is very expensive. So to provide the experience for, you don't have a choice. If your reputation matters and you're earning the reviews that you're earning, you have to give the best experience.
Yeah.
So what's the toughest part about hiring, for you and Aaron?
What's the we're kind of a transient city now, right? So a lot of people are in and out. I say, retaining people, because our job is a stepping stone job. People aren't making careers out of being house cleaners. Yeah. So I would say turnover, retaining people for a long time, because when we do have clients, they find a cleaner they like, they want that person forever, but they have to understand, they're not going to be with us forever. They're going on to bigger and better things. So I would say it's just the churn, the finding, more employees that are good.
What do you think is the key to your standards on how you hire talent? What's one thing that differentiates you and Aaron in your industry?
For hiring?
Yeah.
I think I like to hire, I get personal with people when I do interviews, I want to know about them, their hobbies, somebody that has interests and is going places. You know what I mean? You aren't where you are now, but you're going somewhere. So I do a pretty comprehensive, we do 2 interviews. We're pretty strict with our, background check and screening. We do a lot of backdoor references. So, because when people give you references, they're already pre-vetted by them. They're like, hey, they tell their friend, can you be a reference for me? So I do a lot of backdoor references. So
What's a backdoor reference?
Backdoor reference is I call people they don't know that I'm going to call. I'll call their past employer. And
you're savage.
Yeah. Do you have to be? We're in people's homes.
You are savage.
We have to be. If we're in your home, you want to know who's in your home, right?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So I'm vetting them like they're coming into my house. Because a lot of them do.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of our employees, I'll do a training home in Aaron's parents' house, my business partner. They do a series of practice homes, right, to get comfortable, make sure they're competent, and a lot of those people are friends and family. So yeah, I make sure I have fire under my ass. I want to make sure that the person that we're hiring is a good person. I can teach you to clean, but I can't teach you to be a good person. You know what I mean?
So awesome.
Yeah.
I love your standards.
Thank you.
They're so high, and it's to me your reputation matters a lot to you.
Yeah, because it's our livelihoods, and our name and our life and our futures. Yeah. So
and you genuinely care about, the people that you're serving, it's so easy. You're a person that I would say is a power partner. It's so easy to refer you because you make it easy.
Yeah.
How are you? Okay. So what's the next step for Tranquil Homes? What do you envision? So 4 years ago, you get a lane that changes everything. You start with the CRM, you systematize things. So how have things progressed that led you to last year was a record-breaking year?
Yes. Yeah. We did a little over $1 million in revenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that, exciting. You did that in 4 years. How did that happen? So where were you at before you met Elaine? Maybe get some perspective.
Yeah. So we've been consistent about 20 to 30% growth each year. Yeah. So we just we organically grew. Like we didn't drop down a ton of money on ads. We just organically grew slowly. You know what I mean?
How did you get that organic growth?
Online reputation. The majority of it is from Yelp. And I know a lot of people don't like Yelp.
Yeah.
And that's something I kind of wanted to talk about too, because I have friends that are business owners and they can't stand Yelp. You know, they don't like Yelp. I don't know. Have you heard people complain about Yelp?
What industry are they in?
I've got friends, restaurants, pet sitting businesses, all across. Yeah. They're not huge fans of Yelp.
Well,
you know?
Because like the feedback that I've gotten is that, you know, once they understand that majority of it is coming, that's when they mess around with like I've gotten good and bad. So, but in your industry, it works. I mean, because you said a majority of it is coming from there.
Yeah.
So are you running ads on Yelp?
We do now, but we didn't pay Yelp a penny until we did about $360,000 in revenue. Yeah, we didn't give them anything. So we're like, obviously, the proof's in the pudding. It's working, right? So let's just spend some money, throw some gasoline on it. But the key thing about Yelp, I think, is that people have to remember it's not the yellow pages. It's not Google. Like, they're a business, because people get mad. They're like, oh, I have the salesperson calling me all the time. It's like, well, maybe you should learn from them, make some sales calls. You know what I mean? Like, I know it sounds kind of harsh, but like you have to respect that they're a business. And, you know, people get caught up too in the filtered reviews, you know, like, oh, I got a good review, but it's filtered. It's like, don't even look at it. Just provide a good service, get your reviews. Once your competitors, you're on the same level as far as quantity of reviews and quality of reviews as your competitors, that's when you throw the money on it and the gasoline. Because there's no point paying for advertising if you have 3 reviews and your competitors have 300, right? There's no point. They're still going to go to the other company.
You got a good amount of reviews. So yeah. And that means a lot to me. So when it comes to like the podcast, I always like to vet people, you know, because it's like your reputation does matter, and you care about it. So how do you get the reviews? Like, what's your strategy, you and Aaron's strategy on getting reviews?
Yeah, good question. So, well, most people find us on Yelp. So that's the thing. It's sort of like a self-perpetuating circle. So people find us on Yelp because they're Yelpers, if that makes sense. And Yelp's golden rule is you're not supposed to ask for reviews. Okay. So we don't. We like keep in line with the Yelp gods. We always joke, we pray to the Yelp gods. But so we don't ask for reviews. So there's the people that are active on Yelp. So what we do is, okay, so I'm giving away some secrets here. These are strategies, so hopefully our competitors aren't watching. But some strategies we do to get Yelp reviews are, number 1, we offer, if you check in on Yelp, you ever done that? Like a restaurant? Okay, if you check in on Yelp, even though you're not at our physical brick and mortar, if like whatever, your cleaner's there, or you're paying the bill for your cleaning, you check in and you post a photo on the check-in, we'll give you $10 off your cleaning. Now, the Yelp app, as you as a consumer, when you check in somewhere, Yelp will ask you, would you like to leave a review? So it's a workaround. It's a workaround. The other strategy we do is we will how do I say this? We'll pre-stock our clients on Yelp. So for example, say that you ask for us for a cleaning, right? We have your email address, your phone number. We'll look your email address up in Yelp and we can see, oh shit, this guy's a big dog. He's got 500 reviews, 300 friends. So we consider you, you know, I mean, we treat all of our clients equally, but we know that you're a big Yelper. So we got to hit a home run with you.
I actually think that's genius because you're taking the time to do your homework.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're not stalking them online. We're looking them on Yelp, right? Like we're trying to find out how big, because some people, it's like a hobby for them. They write like manifestos for all their consumer experiences. So we want to know if even have elite Yelpers, you know, for people that write a lot of reviews. So
I give you A+ for, okay, so this is very rare. Now I understand how you have 20% growth every single year. Like you're literally going the extra mile.
Yeah, we really are.
Heck yeah. Like how easy is it to promote you? Tranquil Homes. Like it is literally, I mean, because I'm in real estate, how many people I imagine you guys helping is just mind blowing to me. You know, that there's a company with your standards out there that I didn't know 2 weeks ago existed. Just fucking blows my mind.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like, Airbnb. Like that was really, really cool that it didn't register because I'm like, I've stayed at Airbnbs. Who the fuck is cleaning all these Airbnbs? And it just hit me. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we do Airbnb turnovers, but I will tell you honestly, at least right now, I mean, I might be singing a different song in 6 months. Our biggest need for our business is employees. We have a surplus of clients and not enough employees.
Wow.
That's why I feel like when we can tap into and really, we're always trying to improve and make Tranquil Home a better place to work. Once we can, I want to be the funnest, because cleaning is not that fun, right? Like cleaning, some people like it, but I want to be the best employer there is. I want to be more fun than Disneyland. And once we can do that, I feel like it's going to be game over.
Let's go. How are you going to do that? How are you and Aaron going to do that?
Well, right now, what I've been doing is thinking about putting myself in other people's shoes. And I'm thinking about like the intrinsic and extrinsic value, right? Like because I can't give you $100 an hour to be a cleaner, right? Like I can't charge our clients $300 an hour. That's obscene, right? So I think about like, what do they want? Like, what would I want if I was young and in college? So I'm trying to put myself in their shoes, and I've come up with a few things. One of them, just naming off the top of my head, is I'm going to be gamifying hitting milestones as an employee. That's one thing I'm doing. Another thing I'm going to be doing is offering, what do you call it? Like professional development classes. So I have a whole list of what I think is really cool, list of courses that you can take that I will pay for as your employer. One of them is a podcasting making class. How cool is that? So if you come work for us, that's one of the things that we'll pay for you. I have, a CPR class, which I think is really cool.
Guess who's starting a podcasting class?
There you go.
Buddy.
Yeah. So
this is hilarious. Like you see, it was you manifested the podcast.
Yeah, we were meant to hook up for sure.
You manifested. How funny is that you literally offer a course on podcasting?
Yeah. No one's taken advantage of it yet, but I have to promote it too. That's the thing. You can create these ideas, but you have to like immerse it in your culture so I have to do that. Once I'm refining these things. I want to make our company a really great place to work. Another company I'm studying to learn from is In-N-Out. Cool. I don't know if you know a lot about In-N-Out. If you go on to Indeed and you read the reviews for their employees, they are all just like, it was the greatest work experience. I made tons of friends. It's a good company to learn from,
What are their hiring standards? Like they're high. They go through a huge evaluation. It's like every kid you meet at In-N-Out has a great personality. Like they have the right energy.
They totally do. Yeah. Well, they've always paid traditionally a little bit higher too. Yeah. Like, I don't know if we used to crack jokes. Oh, fuck, I was going to work at In-N-Out. Then they pay you know what I mean? Like back in the day, because they pay a little bit more. I don't know where they're at now because of, the economic.
Yeah. I just think, it's so easy once you have money coming in to compromise standards. But if you can hold on to them, as I get to know more about Tranquil Homes.
Tranquil Home, no S.
Tranquil
Home. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry.
Tranquil Home, as I get to know it better, I'm like, okay, this makes a lot more sense on why you guys are winning all these awards, you and Aaron. Holy smokes. That is so cool.
Yeah, I think I told you when we spoke before that another influence for me was like Nordstrom's. Like I want to be the Nordstrom's of cleaning. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to be. Because there's so much mediocrity especially in San Diego. I'm sorry to say, like we're slipping hardcore with service and standards, whether it's calling an insurance person to get covered for whatever, or going to a restaurant. There's substandard service everywhere. So I really wanted to stand out.
So Aaron, I mean, this is your first podcast, and the funny thing is I actually think podcasting is one of the best tools to get like your brand and your message out there. It's not just about changing your industry. What you just said is about changing the standards that, how we run a business.
Yeah.
That it's not just about money. It's about the experience that we provide people.
Yeah.
Which playing the long game. You and Aaron are playing the long game. What is the this past in 2024, what's the biggest goal that you both have that's going to take you to the next level?
Yeah. So our next level, Well, for one, we're expanding, right? So we're now offering carpet cleaning. I want to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're doing eco-friendly steam cleaning of carpets.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we bought like this $5,000 machine. It's called a box extractor. We hired an amazing dude. He has 15 years experience in carpet cleaning. So we're gonna bang that out. Then we're gonna do. We want to offer window cleaning so we can maximize each lead, because each lead that comes through Yelp, some of them want grout cleaning, window cleaning, carpet cleaning, but we don't offer that. We only do the house cleaning part. So why not maximize the lead and offer all of the services so we can make, create more value for the client and generate more revenue. So we're expanding services. And then additionally, what I also want to do is I want to license and or franchise, don't know which one we're going to do yet. Both are similar. I want to license Tranquil homes all over America to immigrant entrepreneurs. That's what I want to do.
Where did you come up with that idea?
Well, it's not my idea. Right. It actually is our mentor is doing it successfully. She has an amazing company called Superb Maids, and she is actively licensing her brand to families from Russia and the Ukraine. She actually speaks Russian. So, and has, I think, 14 Superb Maids now all over America. And so that I want to do what she's doing. I want to help people. I mean, I'm a first generation immigrant. I would be so excited to spend my energy helping individuals build their business. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's the next level, because I'm like, I've done what I've done. I'm ready. It's like, I'm at that point again where I was burned out on, being in the mortgage industry, and I'm ready. I want to do something else, something bigger and better.
Nice.
Yeah.
So in how long do you think that will take for you?
Well, one thing about my personality is I don't like dealing with the minutia. The minutia. Like, I'm like a bull. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, give me a target. I will run through it, even if I bash my head into it 10 times and it doesn't go. You know what I mean? Like, so I want to sell our first Tranquil home by July.
Let's go.
That's where I'm at. Yeah. I mean, if I don't hit it, that's fine, but that's the goal.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are the next steps to make this happen? What do you have to do?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm following Elena's roadmap, because she is my mentor. Yeah. And she basically is like, you got to put out video content, and you got to come up with your avatar of who is the ideal person to sell a Tranquil home to. She asked me, what country do you have a connection to other than America? And I was like, well, England, the UK. So my stepfather is an entrepreneur. He owns a jewelry business in England. His wife's an entrepreneur. She's a property manager, and she does vacation rentals. So I do have like a link to individuals in the UK that could, at least point me in the right direction of where do I find, as Elena puts it, which is kind of funny. She's like, you're looking for an American that's born in the wrong country that wants to come to America. Yeah.
Say that again. I love that.
She's like, you want to find an American that was born in the wrong country. That's what I'm looking for. So, and because, I think we take for granted all of our opportunities. I feel like there's sort of like a national.
Get out. You did not just say that. I 1000% talked to my boys about it. Like, I wanted to take them to a different country. Because I grew up a little bit in Iran, and trust me, like, I remember some of those memories, and that's some different stuff. And I think we take it for granted. Yeah. Like, how much opportunity we really have in this country. And that gratitude goes a long way, and I think you got to get perspective. So it's interesting that when your mission and Aaron's mission of doing this, like, you're going to impact legacy.
Yeah. And it's going to change people's lives. I think we forget because, a lot of Americans don't travel. We stay here and we kind of just watch the news and imagine other places in our heads. But most countries, a lot of countries, even in Western countries, even in England, I asked my stepfather, like, what's the pain point of being a business owner in England? Because we think over here, like, oh, they get free medical care and this and that, but it's not that simple. And they get very high taxes. So even though it's free medical care, their taxes are so much higher. You're still paying for it. It's just out of a different pocket. You know what I mean? Like, we're used to paying for it, like, in our policy, right? We pay $350 a month for our insurance, but over there, it's coming out of your paycheck. So taxed to death. And he's like, by the time you get to a doctor, you'll be dead in a lot of cases, because it's socialized medicine. So I think that there is somebody in the UK right now that's fed up, is tired of the rain, wants to come to America and start a business.
And you're going to provide that opportunity for them.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. I just got to find them. I got to
Changing
go out and
lives.
find them. I got to go find
Well,
them.
you can find them. You need video content.
Yeah. That's what Elena said. She's like,
Okay.
you got to start making video.
We're gonna talk about video content because this is, I mean, it's all of your brand. We have to talk about branding.
Yeah.
Before that, though, you've been an entrepreneur since 2010.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds corny, but I feel like I've always you have it in you. You know what I mean?
Of
Like
course.
when you're a kid.
But when you felt like
Yeah,
you were official,
yeah,
would you say 2010 is when everything
it's about 31,
started?
so 2011. Yeah.
Okay, 2011. What is the number one tip you would give someone that started their business?
Number one tip I would say is quit your job. If you want to do something and you already have income from another source, you have to leave it because nothing will propel you to get something done and to actually start your business like being broke or the fear of being broke. You know what I mean? And that's the difference, I think, between me and a lot of people that maybe started a business and it fizzled out is that they have that income. They have that backup income or they have that comfortable job where they get good benefits. Like you have to just quit and you'll find a way because you have to, because our species wants to survive, whether it's food, income, whatever. Like our survival skills, that's how we made it to 2024, right? Like we survived. So I think that if you really want to start a business, but you have other income, just let it go and you'll find a way.
You burn your ships?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
it is true. It's like if you have to lean on something,
yeah,
your backup plan, there's no backup plan.
Yeah, like I have another small business, right? Like the Mother Earth Bag Company, and it's it's a social benefit company. We sell upcycled bags. I bought the business during COVID. It's like a hobby, you know. It was just like a fun thing to do, and it helps women and stuff. But I'll tell you one thing: it doesn't generate a lot of income, but we keep our weavers busy. But if Tranquil Home disappeared and I let it go, you better believe I'd be selling those bags out of the trunk of my car at the beach. You know what I mean? I'd have to because I have to pay my bills.
Get it, hustler.
You know what I mean? Like but if I have Tranquil Home, and that's why it's not really succeeding, right? It's like you can't chase two rabbits type thing. So Tranquil Home is generating income for me. So it's like I don't need to make it work.
Well, I have a cool idea for you, like with video, because that is a cool purse. I will share with you. Like when you told me about Mother Earth, I'm like, I thought it was associated. It sounds like cleanings from Mother Earth.
Yeah, well, we do use the bags for our employees. We give them to put their cleaning products in because they're made out of they're made out of laminated aluminum. So Mother
You are
Earth,
a walking brand, by the way. You're like cross pollinating your businesses.
Yeah, I mean it's Mother Earth. It's spelled ERTH. We had to drop the A. That's just the name that the original founders had named the company. And the bags are made from factory trash. It's unused food and drink packaging. It's discarded by factories in Asia. So it's not consumer trash. It's factory trash. And the laminated aluminum, I guess I didn't know this. You can recycle laminate and you can recycle aluminum, but when they're bonded together really tight, like our bags, like the material, it's very difficult to recycle. And no one's come up with an economical way to recycle it. So therefore, it sits around in landfills and a lot of places like Southeast Asia. They don't have a lot of good infrastructure for their trash, so it ends up in the ocean. So we go in, get all this material from the factories before they dump it, clean it, cut it, distribute it by a motorcycle up into the mountains of the Cebu city to women that live in these rural areas. And then they weave them. They get paid 3 times the wages that they would normally get in their area. And they can weave from home, so they don't have to leave their children because a lot of them have young children. And then Charlie, he goes up on his motorcycle, picks up the bags, takes them down to get quality inspected, and then ships them to LA and driven to San Diego. And then we've been selling them at like festivals and farmers markets and stuff like that. But they're amazing because they don't biodegrade for several hundred years. So you could literally run them over with like a Hummer and it just looks brand new.
Really?
And so you can spill stuff in them. That's why they're good for our cleaning products. So anyways, but the point I was trying to make is that Mother Earth is not producing the sales that I would like, but it's because I don't have the fire under my ass to survive because Tranquil Home's taking care of that. So it's easier said than done, right? Like, oh, we'll quit my job, but I feel like you do find a way when you have no other resources. So,
well, I saw the bag. It's pretty cool. I saw it. I'm like, okay, that's a different kind of bag. And branding and marketing. So Elena says to you, Elena.
Okay.
Yep. Elena says to you, you have to create video content. What are you thinking to yourself? Because that's different for you. You're not creating a lot of video content right now, right?
No. Well, we've created our first company video. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Recently.
I saw
Thank
it.
you. Yeah. So we got the first one done, and
you got it done. That was that's the hardest thing, right? So what made you and Aaron decide we got to do this? Like, we got to do the video?
Well, it's long overdue. I mean, it's 2024. People are making video 15 years ago. You know what I mean? So we're just, like I said, we're sort of like running a business, is kind of like life. You start off as a baby, and then you become adolescent, and then a teenager. And now it's like, we're ready to leave home. Like, we're 18 in business years. Right. And now we got to do something bigger. So I'm like, we got to start thinking bigger. And I can't reach those entrepreneurs in England. If I write it, I mean, I could write them an email, but it would be easier to have a video and have a YouTube channel, right? So they could check me out.
Especially with your brand. Like, you have a really cool brand. I enjoy energy goes a long way. And if you can convey, because here's I think the biggest compliment I can give you, who I saw on the Zoom and who you are in person is exactly the same person. That's a difficult thing, like just being your real self. And you call it like it is, and that's fucking great.
Thank you.
So when you're on camera, I think that's where you shine. So what's next? Like, what's the strategy for you and Aaron to create more video content? Like, what do you guys think about doing?
Yeah, I mean, that's something I really need to So, your creative brain, you can't be like in busy, like cracked out on coffee mode. You really have to sit and be calm and just be silent and not be scrolling on your phone and just marinate and kind of, in a way, sort of like meditate or pray for some people on it. Like, where is the value in what I know? And I think, I have a few different ideas, but I think that just teaching someone the baby steps of how to start something from zero into something, you know what I mean? Into something tangible. And really it is really a simple formula. And the thing that I can think off the top of my head is just take those small bite-sized steps. Like, don't think about step 10. Like, I have family that does that. It's like, you're talking about painting what color you're going to paint the walls of your mansion. You don't even have the mansion yet. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Like, do the first step, do the little tiny things. So yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you, exactly yet. But
well, you were asking me because we saw the video together, before, and you're like, well, I'm like, you got it done. That's the most important thing. Yeah. That is the most important thing, because content creation, and I have a lot of ideas for you, as we get to know each other, because like, you are doing things differently in your industry, and owning San Diego is not a difficult thing because you are doing things different in your industry. Because we didn't even talk about like your passion for like keeping families safe with the products that are used in their house.
Yes.
Which was really great.
Yeah.
Because that would be content. That's fire content, in my opinion.
Yes, because we, I think as a nation, we become a little bit cynical about all the things that cause cancer now. Like, I hear people all the time say, oh, everything causes cancer now. And because and it's sad because we're being poisoned from so many angles that we're just like, fuck it, I don't even care anymore. Just give me cancer, And like, we as a company take that step of like really cross-referencing each product. Like, is this going to make you sick, And it probably won't if you use it once in a while, but our employees, they're inhaling that shit every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that can cause long-term problems, I think they did some study. It was a credible study. It was something to the effect of like, inhaling like Windex every day is for like, years on end, assuming you're a housekeeper, is like equivalent of smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. Legitimately. That's how toxic, I swear to God, like it's
Windex?
Windex. If you're cleaning your house once every 3 months, you'll be fine. But if you're inhaling it every day, 8 hours a day, cleaning houses, it's the damage it does is like smoking cigarettes. And don't quote me on it. Like, go read the study. Like, I'm summarizing it. But it's something
everyone's got to do their own research. I think that just reinforces that you said, keeping your employees happy and safe is really important. Yeah. Shocking.
Yeah. So,
Hey, we actually care about you.
well, and there's like the term greenwashing. There's a lot of, there's so many chemicals. Like, it's like, we don't know, like, unless you're a chemist, you don't know what the hell all those ingredients mean. And the website we use is ewg.org. It's the Environmental Working Group. And it goes through personal care products, cleaning products, and it just breaks every ingredient down. And we go the extra mile of making sure we're buying stuff that is safe, like really safe, not just has the word green in it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's marketing. I mean, that's sales right there. It's like, hey, it's organic.
Right. Well, and a lot of us don't have the energy or time to figure out, is this really organic? Is this really toxic? You're just kind of like, whatever. You just sort of like, you get burned out because there is just a lot of toxic shit in our food and in our cleaning products and all kinds, and personal care products. I mean, I don't know if you saw the documentary on Netflix. I think it was called Not So Pretty. They were talking about asbestos in little girls' eyeshadow they sold at Claire's. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Giving our children asbestos? Like, anyway, I don't want to get all into that. But yeah, that's a whole thing. So yeah, that's another thing that makes us stand out is we really make sure that we're, checking our products, dude. Because a lot of companies...
Figure. Go figure. You actually care about the people that are paying the bills.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want it in my house, especially like people that have toddlers or have autoimmune diseases. We have people that have like chronic migraine, sensitive to scents. They don't want their baby crawling all over the floor and putting their hands on Pine Sol and shit. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think this is where education, like you're the industry, you're the experts in your industry. And I think that awareness is easily translated on video. Because you had your people there. It had, in that video, it had pictures of where you guys go to get your products. And those are the types of things that I want to see because it makes sense. Now that I know it, I'm like, oh, okay. Of course you would want a cleaning service that was using organic. Of course, that's the way it should be done.
Well, you don't need...
But unless you don't know any better.
Right. Well, I think, the old school way is like bleach and ammonia, which is great. Sometimes you do need bleach, right? Like if you have a sewage leak in your house, you don't want to use 7th generation. It's not going to make the cut. You need bleach, right? But, or a hospital floor, right? You don't want to get a staph infection, whatever. But for basic like spaghetti spills and dust and shit, you don't need to break out the nuclear bombs. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's where I think that the content comes in. It's like, if you figure out different things to educate people on and you're local, you build what an awesome story. Yeah. It's like, that's what it's all about. Who makes your life better? Like, who do you want to thank as we wrap up?
I think I would definitely want to thank my business partner, who's amazing. And, really kind of, she does better with self-care for sure. Like I overwork and she'll just tell me like, dude, just take the freaking day off, dude, like chill, And our virtual assistants, they're amazing. We couldn't run our business the way we do without them. And they're all over in the Philippines. They're all working right now, actually. So
awesome.
Yeah.
What was your first podcast like?
I was fun.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Yes, I totally did. And you are like really good at making me and people feel comfortable. You have a great personality. So. Oh,
I appreciate that. It wasn't, I had a very easy audience today, so it didn't take a lot of work on my end. I'm just very, very excited at the opportunity, when you shared that story with me that you pretty much ignore, like I was thank you so much. Like that means a lot that when you take the risk, because that was a huge risk for us. We didn't know like what was going to happen. And it just proves like the more proactive you are about the things that you want, the more you create what you want. Yeah. So it was phenomenal to meet you. Like I'm so thankful that you were here.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. This was such an amazing day. Nicola, I really appreciate it. Try and go home. We'll put the website and we'll have her back soon, hopefully.